You ready?
Yeah.
Let's get it. Hello, everybody. We are back with another episode of the Playbook Diaries. I am Jordan.
And it's your girl, Nicole.
And we are joined here today with a very special guest. So let me open up my book to do a proper introduction. Some of you met him on one of the best collegiate O-lines in the country, taking home the Joe Moore Award in 2016, while others of you met him on TikTok as the Cincinnati football player with the always energetic girlfriend. No matter how you knew him previously, today you'll get to know him as the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Cody Ford.
Pew, 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 pew.
That was a great introduction.
Welcome.
That was a great introduction.
How are you today, Cody?
I'm great.
Good.
Great.
Is it your first podcast? How many have you done podcasts before?
Welcome.
It's your first podcast ever?
Right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Playbook Diaries podcast, the best podcast in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Glad
I
to
hope
have
that
you.
we welcomed you.
Oh, for sure.
Are you nervous?
No.
Okay.
He does this. He's true to this.
Are you nervous, Nicole?
I'm chilling.
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
I'm chilling.
I'll be stuttering.
You haven't started once. You're doing great.
Okay, thank you guys.
You're doing great. We're doing great.
Alrighty, so we are in episode
Season 2.
Season 2, episode 2. We all know why Cody Ford is here. You have been a hot topic. I have never
been
seen
trending.
anyone trend
The
this
block
long.
is hot.
The block is hot.
The block is
Very
hot.
The block is really high.
Okay, so we want to know, Cody, tell us. Well, I want to go from the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
Nicole, you okay with that?
Perfect.
Let's start from the very, very beginning. Tell the viewers your upbringing. Like, let's start from the very beginning.
Let's see. Grew up in Pineville, Louisiana, small town. Let's see. Graduated probably with like 200-300 people,
Okay.
and then from there I went to Oklahoma. But as far as like a childhood, my mom was divorced
Okay.
for most of my life, and then remarried when I was in the 6th grade. And in between the divorce and the remarry, pretty much kind of had a hard life.
Okay.
To the point to where we couldn't afford to, live on our own. We had to move in with my grandparents.
Okay.
And then, so like, if you see like, I don't really do it as much anymore, but like the hashtag Rip Papas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He became like my grandfather, my papa became like my father figure and my best friend all in one.
Okay.
And so we lived with them for quite some time, and he was like the first person to like get me in line with stuff. I remember one time he was like, "Do your homework." I was like, "No," and he jacked me up. And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get to it." Yeah. And then from there, I just after that, I took him as that's what it was. Like he's my father.
Okay.
And we just had a bond that was like kind of unbreakable, and moving forward when it came down to, pick a school to go to college to, it was like, I asked him, I was like, where should I go? He was like, you would be stupid to not go to Oklahoma.
Because you were committed to TCU.
Yeah.
Really?
So,
Okay. Verbally at the time?
yeah. So they came in junior year at the end of the season. They came in and it was like, hey, come for a visit,
Yeah.
And
Gary
so I went,
Patterson era. Gary Patterson era?
Yeah. And so I went on a visit, and then I didn't think that highly of myself as a footballer, because the year before I was trash. Sophomore year I was terrible. Junior year I had an okay season in my eyes.
But were you still? What size are you at this time?
I was right about to ask that.
Junior
You're still
year?
larger than everybody else, right?
Yeah. Junior year I was probably like 6'2", but I was only like 260, 270.
Were you a tight end?
I was a left tackle. So I started off as a tight end freshman year.
Interesting.
Okay.
They moved me to left tackle the next year. And I've never played offensive line. Any position before that, tight end.
I'm sure that was a learning curve.
Yeah, that's why I was like trash.
For sure. Like, you didn't know what to do.
Nothing.
That's fine. I like when people can admit they were trash.
No, I was bad. Like, I'm at left tackle in a right-handed stance. And
Oh, gotcha.
You're just...
Yeah, I'm all over
you
the
don't
place.
even know, yeah.
And so they're like, yo, come for a visit. And I'm like, they came to visit me at school.
And this is TCU.
This TCU,
Okay.
yeah. And so I went up for a visit, and like I said, I didn't think it was going to get any better than that. So I go on the visit. We come back home to Louisiana, and then that night, I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell my coach. I called him. I was like, yo, I'm coming. Like, I'm committing.
Dang.
Okay.
And I was like,
Did you take any other visits?
that was my first.
That was your first visit?
And the only visit at the time. That was
Okay.
my only offer, like, anything.
So, aside from wanting to win, what made you leave TCU and go to
Well, so what
Oklahoma?
happened was that summer. So I'm going this summer of my senior year.
Okay. Summer going into the senior year?
Going into senior
Okay.
year, I'm starting to get a lot more traction. Like I have an Arkansas offer at this time, Mississippi State, Oklahoma hasn't offered yet.
Yeah.
They haven't even really been in the picture too heavy. They just send some notes and stuff like that.
Okay. What year is this, by the way? 20?
With 20...
2014, yeah. And so it's the summer, so like we're not in school or whatever. And we finished a workout, and the head coach from my high school was like, yo, come in my office. I'm like, oh, shit, what'd I do? There's only one explanation why he wants to talk to me.
I mean, were you
So-
getting in trouble?
Oh, I was not an angel kid at all.
And he in a small school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Everybody
everybody,
noticing
everybody.
everything.
and then like my grandfather, you know, he what I like to call community rich. Everybody
Everyone
knows.
knows him.
Okay.
So
That's a good way of putting it.
it wasn't like I could do anything without it getting back to him
For
or my
sure.
mom.
Yeah. And you're also like, you stand out.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Yeah. and
Respectfully.
then at this time, like I said, I'm starting to get more like traction for football, so people are always looking out.
Yeah.
So he's like, yo, come in my office real quick. I'm like, all right, cool. So I walk in there, and Coach Beatonbow is just,
Gotcha.
he's sitting in there, the offensive line coach for Oklahoma. He's sitting in there, and he's just going in. He's telling me about Oklahoma, the history, the people that he has in the league, like who's there right now, like how they plan to like move forward, you know, while he's there, and like the things to come at Oklahoma. And then he like drops a ball, like big ball on me. He's like, you know, the offensive line coach at TCU has never coached offensive line before.
Dang.
So I'm like,
They know how to do it.
They do.
yeah, they know what they do. Yeah.
They know how to do it.
Oh, he dirty back so hard.
You're like, oh, really?
And so I'm like,
Tell me more.
Tell me
Do
more.
tell.
because the way he did it was, he was like, how many years has he coached offensive line? And I'm like,
Oh, he asked you.
he asked me, I didn't know.
That's a good way
Yeah.
to do it.
You know,
Let you answer.
I bullshitted a little. I'm like 4 or 5 years or something like
You
that.
just talking.
I'm just talking, yeah.
Just saying something.
And he's like, he's never coached it before.
Jeez.
And I'm like,
Your smile
the rest of the
dropped.
meeting, I'm just quiet. I'm like,
It's
oh,
like you don't know what you're talking about.
Because now I got that face like, oh. Yeah,
Let me
he
just listen.
Yeah. Let me put my ears to it right now.
For sure.
And so then he dropped, like I said, he dropped that on me. And the next week, I take a visit to Oklahoma. Fell in love with the campus, the dorm.
I wasn't your recruiting guide, was I?
No,
Okay.
no.
I thought I would remember that.
I had,
don't think.
I was mainly with the head lady.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know
Teresa?
everybody's
Yeah, I was with
Teresa,
Teresa
okay.
for the most of that visit.
Okay.
And fell in love. Campus was great. The dorm, like,
OU is a beautiful campus.
it really is.
It's easy to fall in love.
Yeah.
The head was, I think,
Oh, the Headington was new.
Yeah.
That was the first year of Headington.
and then it was that really opened my eyes because the athletic dorms at the time for TCU, I don't know what they are now, but at the time, it was like the commons
Yeah.
for Oklahoma.
Were they sharing a room?
It's two to a room.
See, it's crazy because when I took a visit to OU.
Yeah,
I ran track and I was like, I get my own room?
Yeah,
That's
my own
different.
bathroom.
Freshman year is different.
you get a whole kitchen, living room,
It's
and I was
different.
like, "This is
It's
crazy."
nice, yeah.
And then
And you can't be sharing a room with nobody.
No, I can't.
Respectfully.
No, me and especially another
Come
offensive
on,
lineman,
you can't-
it ain't gonna happen.
They can't have you in the room.
And then I'd like do all like the campus tour or whatever, and then I'd go meet with Coach Stoops.
Okay.
And at the time, I don't really know Coach Stoops as Coach Stoops.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it's still all very new to me because growing up, I really didn't want to play football. Like I wanted to be a professional baseball player. Like
Interesting.
I like had it in my Facebook profile, everything. Like, I'm gonna be a pitcher for the Yankees.
Okay.
So I was like, when it came to like watching sports, it was
Baseball.
mostly baseball.
For sure.
Which TCU would have been a more baseball school than
Right.
Oklahoma.
But you were only getting recruited for football. For sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
and track. I mean, but
Shot put.
What is
shot
that?
put, yeah.
Oh. I thought you were going to bust out and say the
said the
100.
100.
Hell no,
Hold on.
'cause
Oh my gosh.
Hey.
we did like the in Louisiana we had like the Fat Man
big
relay.
man
The big
relay.
man relay.
They
I know
put
you were moving.
they put me first leg, and then I looked down the line one time. It's a running back, linebacker. I'm like, Coach, come get me off. I just
Right.
walked off. I'm
But it's like, I don't think people understand how fast, like, even though you're still bigger than the average
You're
person,
fast,
Right.
though.
Yeah.
you're still
an
fast.
athlete.
Like, me and Nicole are pretty good athletes, and we're track athletes, but I think you might still beat us.
I don't think so. I'm so sorry.
Okay,
Speak for
I
yourself.
think. Well, okay, because
Hold on now.
I raced Matt Romar, dusted me.
Matt was fast.
Are you not as fast as him? Because we can race if you want to.
I
Matt
don't know.
was a little
I don't
bit
think he
faster.
can beat me just because he's in the league. I'm so sorry.
Well, he's training every day.
I'm sorry.
Damn near. In what distance?
What distance?
Yeah, what distance?
Because you push it past 40.
The mile.
Let's-
I can beat you in the mile.
I think it could be a 60. I think I could win.
You might win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
42. I'm competitive.
We do 20 yards, I got it.
that's
but
a
you
step.
started-
Who's stopping at 20?
That's a step.
I don't run but 10 yards at a
Your leg
time.
is 20 yards.
Uh,
Respectfully.
and so
20 yards.
and so then I meet with Coach Stoops,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like looking in his office. He got
The ring.
the ring box.
Yeah.
That's how to
And
do it.
My eyes is like, why?
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
Coach Coach Stoops, is he
He
nice on visit? Well, I guess they're
He's
not
a
being
great
rude
guy.
on visits.
And is he still there?
no. Well, he probably still lives there, but
But-
he doesn't coach.
Okay.
He
I
helps
thought he
out.
coached for the XFL.
He does,
The
yeah,
Renegade-
but not in
Arlington
Oklahoma.
Renegades,
Yeah,
right?
he coaches down here now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arlington Renegades.
But Coach Stoops is like a phenomenal man.
Aw.
He really was like
Guy.
what brought me to Oklahoma. And then the way it kind of worked at that time, you couldn't get an offer from like a position coach or recruiting coordinator. Like it had to come
I'm
from
from the
Stoops.
head coach. Okay.
And so I'm sitting in his office, and he's just like, "Hey, we want you to come play for us. Like I'm offering you a scholarship."
Okay.
And I like called my grandfather and told him, and he was like, "That's the place to be."
So what does that process look like? You call TCU back and say, "Hey, I'm not coming anymore."
So I remember the day I was actually just finished a workout, and I go in the hot tub and I'm chilling, and I'm like, I gotta tell him.
Yeah.
And so I called. I didn't even call the O-line coach. I just called the guy who was recruiting me heavy. I was like, "Yo, I'm not coming anymore. Thank you for everything." And then that was it. And he was like, "Well, where are you thinking about going?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to Oklahoma."
Same
And he,
conference, everything.
he started getting a little salty. He started talking a little,
Crazy.
yeah. And I was like, "All right, well, I'll see you in the fall." And then it
Damn.
just hung up, and
So
that was it.
at Oklahoma, so your first year at Oklahoma was 2014.
2015.
Okay.
I graduated in 15.
2015.
So how many Big 12 championships do you have? 4 or 5?
4.
Back
It
to
was
back.
class of 2014 that has 5.
Class of 2016 that has 5.
Has 5.
Yeah, because 14, that's the year they went to, that's the first year they played Clemson in the Russell Athletic Bowl. No.
2014
Yeah,
is
they
like
play-
Samaje P. Ryan and like Joe
And
Mixon
Orlando and them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 2014. One of y'all has 5. Kenneth Mann. What class?
Well, he's in my class, yeah, because
Okay.
he stayed that extra year. Him,
Okay, gotcha.
Neville stayed that extra year.
Okay.
Yeah, those guys have 5.
Okay.
Right, yeah, so class
But
of
you
15.
you stayed at Oklahoma 4 years? Or 5?
2015, I left in 18.
Was that 3?
I was drafted
But
in
you have 4
19.
rings.
Yeah.
So four
So
full-
4
4
seasons,
okay.
but
Okay.
like 3 calendar years.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about your time at OU.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Oklahoma 2013 to 2018. We go to jail if we spoke about that on camera. Like, some of that flat out cannot be. We ran in different circles,
No, we did.
very different circles, but it was tomfoolery going on in all circles.
I
'Cause
bet.
that was when like the house parties was still
The thing.
big. Yeah,
Teakwood,
Club Teakwood.
which was like who was in the house? Obo, Okoronkwa. Then you had Romar, Jordan Evans, Dakota, and Prentice.
Club Teakwood.
Not a good combo. Nothing that our parents would ever want to see. But
So-
fun times.
So how was your experience when you got drafted? Tell us the progression of that. How your last season at OU went.
So the last year of OU, the spring, I was not a starter,
Okay.
and I was overweight. I was like 30 pounds overweight.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad. But I had that following fall, I was on pace to graduate. So I was like, once I graduate, like I'm leaving, because I came here, I did what I needed to do. It doesn't
Okay.
matter.
For sure.
I got my backup plan, as you would say. But then I had a switch in my head, like, well, if I'm gonna leave, like, let's leave the right way. So I'm 30 pounds overweight that spring. I'm about 360. Yeah. I'm about 360 that spring.
What are you right now?
For
let's see.
reference.
I was,
Yeah,
I was
'cause I don't know.
345 last week.
Okay.
So, but
Yeah, it's different.
it's different.
For sure.
We
I'm just
wouldn't
curious.
notice
I just
that
wouldn't
extra
know.
50
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't know what 360 even
I
means.
was like sloppy 360.
Okay.
Couldn't move, couldn't do nothing.
Okay.
And then I'm a second string left guard at that spring game. Well, I start with the start of spring. By the end of spring, by the spring game, I'm taking reps at left tackle. I start the spring game at left tackle.
Okay.
That summer, I go right back into the second string because I'm still a little overweight.
Okay.
By the end of summer, I lose 30 pounds or whatever. I get down to about 330. By the start of season, I'm 315.
Okay.
You was putting in work.
Yeah, because in my head, I'm like I said, if I'm gonna leave the right way.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what, I'm going to get it. Like I'm going to the league. That was the only year I've ever really truly thought about going to the NFL.
What were you thinking initially? Because you were telling me, you said a backup plan. So
I was just before I was like, I'm just get my degree and
figure it out.
do life as it does, you know.
Gotcha.
Question: did you like playing football? Because I know like college is when a lot of players lose
That passion.
that passion. It's like it's not fun anymore.
Every day at OU when we had practice and stuff, practice was tough. It was brutal. Dealing with Schmitty in the summer, it really like makes you question if you love it.
This is
And,
what I want to do.
like looking back on it, I loved every second of playing football at Oklahoma.
Okay.
There's nothing I would change about my experience.
Okay, that's great. That's nice to hear it. We don't hear it often.
Nah, like
People enjoyed that experience.
if I had went to TCU or another school, I feel like my college experience and life would probably be so different.
I bet.
Yeah.
But I'm really thankful for my time.
Everything
at OU.
worked out.
It's great.
So you enter the draft what year?
2019,
Okay, and what were you drafted?
second round, pick 38.
Is that what you predicted for yourself?
No.
What did you predict for
So
yourself?
going through the year, this is my first year starting.
Okay.
I started for 1 year, played the whole season as a starter, and that was it.
Great season, great
Great
cherry on top, killed it.
For some reason, God had my back, and I balled.
Okay.
Had a great year. We get to OU Texas, which is it's always in October.
Yeah.
So it's like week 5, week 6 maybe. And Bill Beanbo pulls me into his office, and he's like, you're about to start getting looked at, to leave for the league and whatever. And he's like, you ain't going unless I say. Okay. Which I took it as Coach B has never put, me in like a position to where it's like controlling or whatever. He's any player, he's always had their best interest at heart.
So it was more of like caretaking. He wants what's best for you.
Like he was basically saying like, if I don't think it's smart for you to leave, you're not gonna
I'm
leave.
gonna let you know. Okay. I'm glad
That's
you-
fair because that's not everybody's experience.
Facts. Because some people are like, you can't leave because we want you to stay here.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I'm glad
it was
you
more like,
explained that
I want to take care of you and make sure that you leave at the right time.
for your career.
And so we play that OU Texas game, and then the year goes on, and I'm starting to get like calls from agents and that whole thing. And they're like, "Yo, you could really be a first round pick this year." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, no way. I've only, like I said, started for 1 year. Never heard of that happening before, unless you're a QB or receiver, running like a skill position.
Yeah.
And then we play Alabama in the bowl game, and I'm walking off the field, and Bill like stops me, and he's like, "Yo, what are you gonna do?" And I'm like, Coach, I'm gone. Like, I'm out. He's like, yeah, I think it's time. And that was the last,
That gave me chills.
I just got chills
That gave
too.
me chills. I'm like, ooh.
Like,
okay.
that was the last, like, piece of approval I needed was coming from him, like, especially after a loss.
Yeah.
Because he could have been real bitter.
For sure.
Yeah.
But he was like,
He's looking out for
he
you.
was very sincere and genuine. Like, it was me, him, his wife, and his kids. He was like, it's time for you to go.
So how many years have you been in the league now?
6. I'm going into year 6.
Wow.
You're going into year 6.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit of pocket change now.
Yeah.
They say that you can't be your full, like, you never know who you are until you have money. And so, like, who are you? Who is Cody Ford? Now that you can afford the things in life that you want, you don't have any factors hindering you from being the person that you want to be. Because sometimes if you're like living below the poverty level, sometimes you do things, not you specifically, but people do things that are that they would consider out of character,
Especially when they're
because
new
it's
to
like
it.
I
Yeah.
needed to survive out of survival.
Right.
So now that that's not a factor, who is Cody Ford today at, what are you, 28 years old?
27. I turned 28 in December.
Okay. All right. So who
Yeah.
is 27-year-old Cody,
Cody
Ford? Who
Ford.
are you?
I still think I'm just like, I'm a guy with a big heart. And like, that's what, like, you're talking about, like, the money aspect of it. When people have come to me, like, family or friends, and they're like, that's the biggest thing I've had to, like, really, like, control is like, yo,
Like
let
asking?
me get $20.
Do people really be doing that? I already know. You just want to walk up to get. Can I get some money? What?
gonna do it.
I'm just trying to go to. The,
I had somebody asked me for like an outrageous amount one day,
like out of nowhere,
out of nowhere.
What is that range? Like 10,000?
Higher.
and it's like, what do you even say?
No.
You just, I just say,
I blocked that.
yeah. It's just like
I'm
what?
like,
I would
what?
literally be like, what's going on?
I get nervous and laugh. I'm like, no.
Like, but I can only imagine, people coming in with so many like wishes and requests.
The first taste of that was actually my biological father.
So your
Could we
your
dive into that a little
biological-
bit?
Yeah.
Okay, your biological father is living, but
He was not present. What's going on?
So
you said that you're
So before I graduated high school, I could count on one hand how many times I saw him in person.
okay.
I go to college, don't see him at all.
Okay.
I get drafted. I get a Facebook message. Hey, da 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 da, whatever. My response was like, hey, if you're here for money,
I don't got it.
I don't got it.
Yeah.
And then I also told him, I was like, yo, like I have my stepfather who's basically my dad.
Yeah.
He
I
stepped
took his
up.
last name that's
Oh,
my
wow.
dad. Yeah.
Oh,
We love
Ford
his-
is not.
No, so I wasn't born with the last name Ford.
Oh,
He's been rebranded.
Yeah. And so
you know they say rebrand
that
in a
is
good way.
crazy. to
You know it's a
say.
rebrand.
I got what you
Yeah,
meant,
thank
though.
you.
I got
He's
you.
a rebrand.
And so I told him, I was like, such and such, is where my father like relationship is. But if you want a relationship man to man,
Let's get
I'm
it.
all ears. And his response was like, I wasn't asking you for money. But then he like left it at like carry on.
Yeah.
I get
So it was with money.
So then I got
coming.
another message request from his stepson. It's like 8 paragraphs. Oh, you shouldn't talk to him like that. Da, 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 da. Like, you don't even know him. I mean, which
you
I
don't
don't.
know this person?
No.
You don't know this
Never
person?
met him or anything. And he's like, you don't even know that their house just burned down. And I was like, that's exactly why I said what I said.
Yeah.
But like,
But
you
I
cuss
was.
good?
Do I who?
Do you cuss good?
I ain't cuss him out.
It must be emotionally. How do I even explain it? It must be emotionally confusing and like, how does that even feel? Like
Like, were your feelings hurt?
were your feelings
Like,
hurt?
it's like you come to me and I wanted this.
I had kind of cut him off. Like I was emotionally shut down from
Okay.
my biological father for years.
okay.
So when it came down to it, like I said, I was like, I will accept you as another man in my life, rather than let's take it anywhere further.
Yeah.
But I will say, I reached back out to him myself this year, and was like, hey, like I would love the chance to like get to, because I never got a chance
And
to
you
know
have every
him.
right. Yeah.
Right. I was like, hey, I would love a chance to get to know you for who you are. And ever since then, like, we text and we call each other, and it's been kind of cool. And like, I had my annual football camp. He showed up, and it was great. And it was good that I did that because I'm like looking at him, and he can barely like walk, and he looks like it's might be close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have pictures?
I have a picture of what he looked like
Before.
Well, I'm not saying like you don't have to show me pictures. I'm saying
thought
like,
that's what
do
you
you have
meant.
pictures? I am nosy. I'm not that
Do you have
nosy.
pictures?
But I was saying just like if you're saying like it might, something might happen, just
No,
so you have
I
something
have one
to hold
picture.
on to y'all together.
Well, I have two now. I have one from when I was in high school,
Okay.
and then I have one picture from this year.
Okay. Cool.
Is your father still It's not even still. Is your father residing in Louisiana? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. As long as you
And
have
that's where your
pictures,
camp
it's
takes
good.
place as well. Awesome.
Okay, so we're gonna reel it back in, and I want to go back to college. Were you dating anybody in college? You had a girlfriend in college,
Yeah.
right? Can I bring that up?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us about that?
So we met. Let's see.
Not you cheesing. Not you cheesing.
Chill out.
Okay. My bad.
I'll get into why I'm
My
cheesing.
bad. You cheesing.
So how we met was I was at a frat party,
Okay.
and it was maybe like right around Halloween, I think, or whatever.
Okay.
And
You was at Fiji?
no, I was at
Beta.
no, Delt. Is it Delt? The one with the courtyard in the
Okay,
middle.
yeah.
They always had like the jungle juice.
Frat parties used to be lit.
Yeah.
Lit.
The one with the little.
Lit.
The house was like you get to go in a square.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one. And
They
then
know how to throw a party.
she like walked in with her friends, and I'm with my friends, and I'm like, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up? And then
I'm Cody. I'm sorry.
nah, you good. And next thing I know, I'm walking her back to her sorority house.
Okay.
Just me and her, we just walking and we just talking. And then that was in October. By February, we start dating.
Okay. How long were you with her for?
6 years.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know why I
I
wasn't
looked at you
expecting.
because you look like you finna say something crazy.
I guess I just wasn't expecting it. I don't know why I
I thought
wasn't.
you were gonna say like 2 years.
I thought he was gonna say like 2 years. He said 6. Okay.
That.
Committed man.
Okay, so when did that? Well, tell us why you was cheesing. Actually,
He was cheesing.
you was.
Just cause how we like this. That was like the first time I, like in high school or whatever, and then like even kind of before I had met her, I was like afraid of rejection.
Okay.
Okay.
That was the first time I stepped out and was like, whatever.
Okay.
Whatever happens, happens. And then I was also cheesing because the way I look at that relationship and my last one, I think are two stepping stones for what I want to be in my next one.
Relationships help you know,
Yeah.
learn yourself, what you want, what you don't want.
Exactly.
For sure.
So how did that one end? The college one end? Because 6 years, that ended after college.
Yeah, so we broke up in 2022.
Two.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just got to a point to where I wasn't the best in that. I got a track record. Call it what it is.
Track record of what?
Cheating.
Nicole said, "Be very
Yeah.
clear."
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
And I got to a point to where like I had that realization, like the way I'm treating her is not good for her, good for me. I don't see myself marrying her. Let me stop wasting her time.
Stop this. Yeah.
Okay. That's
So I broke up with her. I did take like a month off. Like we kind of had like a break in there at the end where I was like, let me make sure maybe I can like have self-talk and like get to a point to where like I can cut everything out, or I like have self-talk and like have a moment of this is someone I could marry. But
Yeah.
at the end of it, I didn't have those answers.
Yeah.
And so we broke up in 2022.
so that ended. Now to the part that everybody's waiting for.
Yeah.
When did you meet Tiana?
So I met Tiana at the back end of that relationship. Like
Okay. While you were
Was it overlapped or no?
because that was one of the main questions that people asked on TikTok.
we met we didn't physically meet. My friend called me one day and he's like, "Hey, there's this girl we want you," because he knew I was getting out of the last
Okay.
relationship
For sure.
and he's like, "Yo, there's this person like we want to like get y'all together and see what happens type
Okay.
shit. And that was in January, and then I broke up with the other ex in February. So there was like a month overlap where like we may have been like Snapchatting or something like that.
Okay. So I was wondering that, but I was gonna ask your permission before I was being messy.
Yeah, no.
Because
So
there's a picture still on her Instagram.
the first ex.
Yeah, I'm nosy, so I did
Well,
my
I'm blocked,
research.
so I can't see it.
We do extensive research before we have somebody. You know, it's a respect
Yeah,
thing,
no,
it's
do your
professionalism
thing,
thing.
yeah.
So did a massive deep dive, and so there's a picture of her in your jersey, and it's dated. I want to say January 22nd or January 29th.
Not her keeping the picture though.
At the game.
I don't think she realizes it's still up. I'm almost positive.
Really?
Because it's not.
Women tend to.
It's on
their-
her page in tag photos.
Oh,
If you ever
okay.
want to see something, you gotta go through the
You
tag
gotta
photos.
go
Fact.
through. Hey, you gotta go through
No
the tag
one filters
photos.
out their tag
Always
photos.
look through their tag photos.
So I went through her tag photos.
Not
and
y'all
she's-
giving the recipe.
Who are they? Who was tagging them?
And so, but she looked happy, and she had on your jersey. If I'm not with you, I ain't wearing your damn jersey. I
ain't
say
wearing-
that as my
No,
ex's
we was-
football's behind me, but
So that was still season. So we were
Okay.
still like together.
but y'all broke up in February, so there is overlap.
Well,
Wait.
it
You
was
said
like
slightly, but
someone
not
just
in
introduced.
person.
someone
Yeah,
just
so we
told
hadn't
them,
met. Yeah, we
Someone just told him about her.
yeah, we hadn't met, and we may have Snapchatted. That was it. Like I don't even think I had her number until I actually met her in person.
Snapchat was the time.
Yeah, that'll get you in trouble.
It will get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so
Anyway.
okay. Side note, congrats on making the 53-man roster.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So,
Congratulations.
so congrats on that, getting over that, because I know it's
I know
pretty
it's
stressful.
crazy.
Yeah, I know. So the night before the deadline, my head coach texted me and was like, "Hey, Cody, it's such and such. Just wanted you to let you know you made the team, like so you can not stress about it."
I know that was a relief.
Yeah, but when I read, "Hey, Cody, it's such and such,"
You're like,
I'm like, "Oh no, here it comes."
Yeah.
It's like being a black girl and it's the morning of your hair appointment.
Hey, girl.
Oh, bitch,
That's
you better not
the
cancel my
worst.
appointment. Oh my God.
Hey,
And so I'm like reading it, like I'm on stream,
Yeah.
and I'm reading it, and I was like, "All right, I don't want to read that right now."
For
He
sure.
said I'm on stream.
You just see a little bit, yeah.
You in that stream. That stream kills me. Entertainment, though.
That's what it's for.
I'm on stream.
I was reading it on stream.
Like, what?
We'll
2024.
revisit that. So
Yeah.
you met Tiana. Change my note cards. So y'all met because someone introduced y'all.
Right.
Okay, and then y'all met in person.
In March.
Okay. So what did you like about Tiana? And that's not a shady question. It kind of
Yeah, it's just like,
shady.
why did he make
I
us
want to
yeah.
know, like, what were the
So
qualities of her that you
what
liked that drew you to
actually
her?
what actually pulled me towards her was things that I'm not.
Like,
Fair.
Outgoing, energetic.
Seemed like a good
Happy.
match.
happy?
Happy.
Yeah.
I'm always like low key, really like chill.
Mm-hmm.
And she brought out a lot of signs of me that I didn't even know were there.
Okay.
And like the first night we met, she like got in the truck and she's like all yelling and stuff. And
You know, guys like
So
that.
her on social media is her
That's
real
her.
life. Like, that's
yeah,
authentically her.
yeah,
Okay.
no, that part is actually her.
Okay.
And she hugged, like, so I was with my friend that introduced us. She like gave him a hug, and then she like gave. I'm like, I don't even know you. Like, that's who I am
Kind of
though.
reserved, yeah.
Did
Yeah.
she give you a hug, or do you say, where my hug at?
No, she gave me
Stop.
one.
He not-
You don't have to. You can tell the truth here.
he flies. It's only the real
Well,
guy
she
be
in the
like, "Where my
back
hug
seat.
at?"
She was in the back seat, so she like gave a hug around the neck to both of us.
Okay.
And I remember thinking in my head like, oh, this ain't gonna work.
Jeez.
Why?
Because like I said, she was everything in that moment, everything that I'm
That you
not.
weren't.
Okay. So
And-
so initially you thought like that might be too much for you.
Yeah,
to be with
it's
someone?
like that's
Okay.
like
It's a lot.
It's
You
just-
doing too
It's
much.
just, yeah. You doing
Okay.
too, yeah.
and
Okay.
then,
So what changed?
like what you mean?
At
You
first
said
you're
at the
saying
first,
like, it's
yeah.
a lot. It's not gonna work. But you pursued her. You continue to pursue her. So what
When
shifted?
before we started dating and whatever, there was a part that she made me chase.
Okay.
Because with my last one, I didn't really have to chase. Like,
Okay.
let me rephrase that. There was just no chase that had to be done.
Yeah, it worked.
Okay.
It worked.
It
Like
went smooth.
We met or
Yeah.
whatever.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but then like with Tiana, it was like she didn't like set plans to like see me again. She didn't like text.
Yeah.
That-
So you had to be like,
You
hey,
had to
what's
come
up?
correct.
I had to
Yeah.
like
Okay.
I had to like basically apply some pressure.
pressure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was she doing influencing at the time when you met her?
Not self-influencing. She worked for like influence or a
News.
content agency.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically,
Okay.
like they did photo shoots for people. Yeah. Then she got to nudes.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
Okay.
Got you.
So then y'all get into it, y'all make it official, get into a relationship, and then we hit the 6-month mark.
We hit the 6-month mark. So how was that?
It was tricky.
Tricky or triggering? I didn't hear you.
It was tricky.
Tricky.
It was tricky, okay.
Because I didn't fully understand who she was at that time. And she didn't understand. It's hard to understand me. I don't communicate to people.
Okay.
I don't open up about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it was hard for her to understand me.
And at the time, what team were you on?
So I
Give
was-
us also the place and everything like that.
When we first met, I was with Buffalo. But I wanted out of Buffalo. So for that off season, I was pretty much still staying in Dallas. Like I didn't go to
Okay.
the first part of OTAs and stuff.
Okay.
And then training camp rolls around. I'm still with Buffalo, and I'm like I said, like I'm trying to get out.
Yeah.
I like switch agents. I get a new agent. He gets me out within a week.
Got you.
I go to Arizona. I get traded to Arizona.
Okay.
And at this time, we're kind of already like we are already living together here in Dallas.
At 6 months?
Yeah,
Okay.
and maybe even like a little sooner.
Was that your decision? Kind of a mutual decision to live together? It's just how it happens?
Probably more so mine.
Okay.
Wow.
Just because like if we gonna do something like,
Come on.
especially if we gonna be in the same city,
Yeah.
and like with me being so far away, like let's just live together. Like it's easier.
So I asked that because I know that when you are like, well, women, when we deal with professional athletes or when we are dating a man or just someone that has more money than the
Resources,
average person,
Yeah.
or more resources, typically men might be a little bit more reluctant to give that type of access and move in because it's like, well, let me make sure I know your motives. So normally, normal processes for quote unquote normal couples,
Yeah.
those processes might be a little bit prolonged when you're dealing with someone that is of status. Sometimes.
To me, it's like if your motives are what they are, you're gonna do them anyway, whether we live together or we don't.
Fair.
Okay.
So,
Touche on that one.
yeah.
I wasn't expecting that one
Hey.
at all.
We talked about it. I said I would move in.
I mean, it's just like why
We're
not
here.
though?
Yeah.
Like,
I'd be scared. I mean,
well, she actually she was like hesitant to do so.
Yeah.
She was like, I don't want to give up like what I have or whatever.
Yeah.
And where
Which I
was she living
respect.
at the time?
She was living here.
Okay, she was in Dallas. Okay.
Yeah, she was
Okay,
living
she's in
here,
Dallas, okay.
and she was working for a
little
marketing.
Got
or
you.
whatever.
a little bit less risk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're here. I'm already here.
Okay.
And so then when it came time to move to Arizona, I'm like when you coming? And it was always never a straight answer.
With the move to Arizona. Okay.
Yeah, because like I said, we already living together.
Okay.
So why like
If I move, you move too.
Like we're
Right.
a unit.
Okay.
and like we actually both agreed like long distance probably wouldn't be the best.
For sure.
So like that if you say something like that, I'm
That means we're
expecting you
going.
to act towards that, you know.
Okay.
Because there's things that I did tell her about the way I did my last relationship,
Okay.
and I told her like, yo, this didn't work out for me. Like I acted in this type of way. I kind of gave her a little bit of history.
You're transparent.
Yeah, with some things.
Okay.
He said not everything. I ain't doing it.
I ain't telling everything. I told her what I needed to.
And like I'm like asking her like, yo, when you coming? She, like I said, she can never give me like.
So you're already in Arizona at this
Yeah.
point. Okay.
And so for me, I felt like it was like a little bit of I don't really want to be like do that.
Okay.
And I'm also looking at it like maybe she doesn't want to be here.
Why do you think it is? Like, why do you think she was hesitant? Did you guys ever dive into that, or like, what do you think?
I think it had to just do a lot with like, she has her friends here. She had her job here. She had her basically like her
She
life
had built
here.
up Dallas.
Yeah.
Her social circles in Dallas. Moving is hard.
It is.
Finding friends after college is extremely difficult.
For sure.
Very depressing.
Really?
So I get it.
I actually
Finding friends after
Well,
college.
I mean, because I wouldn't know. But
Yeah,
exactly, yeah.
All my friends are already there.
So like so there's stats on it. I don't know off the top of my head, but like finding someone that you marry significantly declines
when you leave.
when you leave college.
Oh yeah,
When you
for
leave
sure.
college,
When you leave
but
college,
friendships do the same thing as well because in college we're all in such close proximity.
It's a
You go on
convenient-
campus, we are at the union together.
Yeah.
We're walking to class. Even if I don't really care for you, you sit next to me in class. We might, go back and
Yeah.
forth on like the assignments and stuff. But when you leave college and you're living on your own, you don't really just go out places and people are like, "Hey, nice to meet you." You don't really have a reason to talk to people.
literally.
Right. Yeah, that
So
makes
that
sense.
college has a lot of forced interaction
Yeah.
that spirals into like, oh, okay, this is a good friendship that I would like to take. So when you leave,
You don't have those.
I've seen women talk about it on social media all the time about like, oh my gosh, I moved to a new city for a job, but I have no friends here. It's so
Yeah.
difficult. And then when you're at work,
What she was afraid of.
yeah. So I can see why she would be reluctant to move or be scared. It's just like,
I don't know anybody.
I gotta
Yeah.
remake friend. Like I gotta do this all over again.
Yeah.
So I get that, but so keep going.
Circling back, yeah.
And then there was just moments where I felt like she might not be all in. Just like the way she because like I said, I didn't understand her, and to me, it's like if you're in a relationship, like there's obviously boundaries, which I'm the last one to talk, I guess I could say. But at the end of the day, there is still boundaries from
Yeah.
both sides, and if I feel like you're not respecting the boundaries that I may have, I'm looking at it like, oh, you're not all in, or like you said, there may be different motives here.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of looking at it like my trust may not be all there,
Yeah.
and so then the 6-month mark happens and shit hits the fan.
What is the shit that hit the fan?
Because some of our followers are like sports. They might be sports fans, so they might not
Yeah.
know what's going on
so-
in other space.
Let's see. I make a decision to. Let's see, how can I put this? I make a decision to go back to something that I had already dealt with.
Thought you dealt with.
Yeah.
Was it something that you were comfortable with? Was it someone, not something, was it someone that you were comfortable with and you reverted back to that?
Yeah.
Like familiarity?
Me, and I think even Tiana kind of called it out whenever everything happens. She definitely was like, y'all have a weird connection.
Interesting.
Me and the other person had like a weird connection that just,
couldn't
Put a finger on it?
yeah.
Okay. So y'all end up going to couples therapy.
Right.
How was that?
How was that? Because there is some cultural differences
What do you mean by
with
cultural
the way
differences?
that was handled.
What do you mean by cultural differences?
So statistically, black couples don't utilize couples therapy nearly as much as white people do. That is, and if we do, it's at the engagement mark.
Yeah. So
Like I know tons of
Like marriage counseling.
Yeah.
I
That
know
type of thing.
like
Yeah.
my white friends will do couples therapy once engagement happens.
Yeah.
Whereas like my black friends, couples therapy comes in when it's like
needed.
An issue.
when there's an issue has
when
happened.
there's
Yeah.
an issue.
Yeah,
So for me,
if they can get it.
I actually kind of enjoy therapy anyway.
Okay. Were you doing that before?
Not
Or that was kind of a new thing?
I did it. Well, we actually were in therapy together before anything happened.
Okay.
Cause I enjoy it. Like it's not. Once I find a therapist I can trust, I'm all in.
go.
I'm all in for it. Like I had one in college. I had one my rookie year in the league, and then that therapist left. And like I said, that they brought in someone new. I didn't want to have to talk about everything with a different person.
Yeah.
And then I moved here, and she already has one, and I'm going through the stuff in Buffalo, like where I'm like battling, like trying to handle like the situation up there, like as far as football. So she hands me her therapist, and then when stuff happened, at like once I made my decision of what I did,
Yeah.
I regretted it immediately.
Okay. So my question is, because I was confused, is the therapist that saw y'all at the 6-month mark
The same one?
Same therapist
No.
throughout?
Okay.
There was a change in therapist?
Yeah, so we changed therapists last year.
And that the new therapist sees both of y'all separately, or they only see
now.
y'all?
Okay,
as-
so y'all
as a
kept y'all's
couple?
therapist.
Well, I don't know if she still kept.
But you
I
kept
do.
the therapist.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, like during the
We
During the
did
relationship-
individual and couples
Got you.
with that same person.
with the new one. Yeah.
But individually, did you well, of course you talked about your relationship.
But
It's interesting.
Is that not a conflict of interest for the therapist to be?
As long as she doesn't tell me what she's saying and she doesn't tell her
that's
what
fair.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, but so I thought that it would be a conflict of interest if we fast forward to the breakup, like now, that therapist was on the phone call.
Did you know the therapist? You knew the therapist was on a phone call.
Well, yeah, because it was FaceTime.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And all three of y'all want to. We'll get into that later. 'Cause
Yeah.
it might be a little tricky. Okay, so
Now that you mentioned it is kind of.
I thought it was odd, and I was like, "Wait, hold on."
Well,
hold on.
'cause
a
what-
therapist being on a call.
The way I was looking at it was just.
During a breakup is interesting.
we're grown.
I
Yeah.
think it was more like a moderator.
Like a third person
Yeah.
trying to make sure it's
Because the
solid.
therapist really didn't say much.
Okay.
Okay, because the way that I thought when I saw the video, I rewatched it a couple times because I'm like, hold on, wait, the therapist was helping her break up. I guess the wording made me immediately jump to like, wait, the therapist jumped on and he or she said their bit too. they
No,
didn't
not
say
really.
anything?
She didn't pick a side at all.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
She just got on the call and was like, everybody remain calm.
Yeah. And it was like basically kind of handling like the logistics and making sure emotions stayed where they needed to stay.
Okay, so let's go back. So we're at the 6-month mark. We're doing, we're in couples therapy now. And after the first cheating incident is when Tiana starts to pick up on social media, is when she starts like filming for her own life.
Yeah.
After.
After.
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
It came out of nowhere
Yeah.
because one day I bring home my jerseys and helmet at the end of the season, and the next thing you know, she has like 40,000 followers.
Like,
I think
okay.
that's like super interesting for me. I don't know if it's just like my perspective or if it's like a shared perspective, but my mindset would be like, okay, I just got cheated on. I don't want to publicize this relationship for not publicize it, not post or whatever, but as in depth as the social media was.
Yeah.
I personally would have been hesitant to be like, I'm going to film all of this and post all of this online after we've just got over this hurdle, because cheating emotionally requires a lot to fully get over.
For sure.
For a lot of, I think, women, it's like more than just like, okay, like I forgive you, but it's like every now and then it's like I'm
insecure. I
yeah.
feel
No,
this,
and that's
I
what we.
feel that.
So speaking
roller
on that,
coaster.
there was like a year.
I was gonna say I think it would take me like
It would take some
most
time.
women say
There
like
was
a year.
there was a big chunk of time where I had to let her.
Get it out.
There was
Say
some
the shit.
days where it was like, all right, she on. The way I used to call it was she on her shit.
Yeah.
But respectfully, like she had to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of what I did.
For sure.
Yeah. So what, like, was it just like being angry sometimes when like nothing in the moment actually happened, but in her head it's like I'm replaying it.
Big replay.
Or when you're gone and maybe
Yeah.
you don't
When
text.
you're gone,
so-
wondering.
If you're
So
gone,
there's a
you're
lot
busy.
there was a lot of situations where, well, put it like this too. After that, we had an open phone policy.
Okay.
What's that?
Open phone.
Open phone.
I know your codes.
You know my code, I know your code, and there was random check-ins like where we could be at dinner one time.
Give it to
and
me.
Give it to
Ooh.
me. Yeah.
Give
Did
it
y'all
to
not
me.
have that before?
I don't
Not
think
really
that's a
open.
normal- Is that a normal thing? Give me your phone.
For me and my relationship, I'm going through that damn phone.
But are you saying at dinner?
I'm going through
Let
that
me
phone.
see it.
And I always tell women, I'm like, go through that phone.
Go through that
right
phone before
his
Christmas.
birthday, and go.
What?
Anytime I'm about to spend money, I'm going through that phone. I said, before I swipe
Before
this
I
card,
get in there,
I'm
go
like,
through that phone.
give him some liquor. I'm going through that phone.
Okay, give him
Not
some
give
liquor
him
is
some
crazy
liquor.
though. That is crazy.
That's actually drugging somebody.
Not if you
technically.
willingly taking it, go through that. I'm like, okay. He over there laid out, going through that phone. I'm like,
Okay, so you guys had the open phone policy.
Yeah.
how did that work out? Because it can be annoying.
Did she?
Very.
Did you utilize it as well? Did you?
Yeah.
say-
Oh, yeah.
What apps did you check? What apps did you go and check when you went through the phone? Like when you go through the phone, what is the
Where are you going
clicking at?
other than messages?
Well, I'm going Instagram,
Okay.
Snapchat, TikTok.
You didn't go through the Cash App?
Facebook.
I
Who
wasn't
sent?
going through Cash App for.
Who is sending money?
Does she respectfully? Does she need someone else to send her money?
Right.
Like, and it's just kind of like, do you really think you're gonna win me over? Send me money. I'm already dating someone with money. Please.
That's the point. But where you spending the money?
On her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you were,
Oh,
but like,
Who
yeah.
are you talking to? Yeah, he's
I'm
spending
just
some money.
I'm but like generally like men be having money, but they don't be spending it. So it's like,
He
oh
gonna
my
spend
gosh, I
some
might as well
money.
be at a brokey. I'm getting nothing.
He's gonna spend
Oh,
some
no,
money.
I was. Yeah.
Okay. So you're
She was taking
She
care of
li-
it.
and she lived with
yeah,
him.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
But some people be stingy. So
No,
It's true,
I know
though.
what you do mean. Yeah, no.
It's
but she
true.
was-
Some people
She
be
was
stingy
taking
with
care
their
of.
money. So okay. So it's the check-ins and you're going through the social apps.
Yeah.
You didn't go through like I always go through maps. You didn't go through maps.
nah.
I'm going through motherfucking phone. Ho, where is you at?
Because we also had each other's location.
So it's okay. So he don't need to go through
That
math.
don't mean nothing.
Yes, it does.
Yes,
okay.
it do.
No, it doesn't.
Especially if you only got
Oh,
one
she's at
phone.
Dave and Buster's. Who's at Dave and Buster's with me? I'm going through everything, really.
Okay. So you guys had an open phone policy. You shared each other's location. You put up with, not even you put up with.
Not even put up with.
Yeah, that was the wrong word. You made room for being accountable for your mistakes.
Yeah, because like I said, once I did what I did, I really regretted it. Like,
Yeah.
because I did at that time, and even in that big chunk of her healing, there was a lot of love. Like, I did love her.
Okay. So what was that like when you were confronted with the cheating? I always want to know that perspective. Like, what was going through your mind?
The
Where were
first
you?
time?
Yeah, the first time. Where were you? What was going?
I
were
was
you like,
I was
"Oh, I'm
literally
finna lie"?
I was literally no so
Was you lying?
nah
Okay.
not entirely.
So yes.
No, I didn't lie about the things that she already knew about.
Okay.
Okay.
Because what I did, she didn't know until I told her.
Okay.
She just knew about some other stuff.
The lip liner.
No, that's what she didn't know about what me and Lip Liner had done
Not
until
Lip
I
Liner.
told. Well,
For sure.
It's a good reference point.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they said. So,
Okay. All right. So
She didn't know
so
what
you
we-
just came forward with that.
so I did have to go over to that person's house, and like for the second time, be like, "Yo, like I'm moving on," because like I said, we had that connection. It was
Okay.
just really weird.
Got you.
Okay.
And like when I went over there, like I had to put an end to it.
So Tiana mentioned that on Alex Earl's podcast, the Hot Mess with
Yeah.
Alex Earl, she mentioned that Lip Liner had been involved with your other relationship too.
Yeah,
You
How
guys
did
had
Tiana know
a
that?
long.
I told her.
Yeah.
Oh, you told that?
That's like I told you. Like when we first got together and started dating, I told her some of my track
Past.
record. Yeah.
Okay.
So after 6 months, you cut off Lip Liner.
Well, 6 months I cheat, and then like 2-3 months later, I go over to the house to just like end things.
Got you.
Okay.
Because there in between the 6 month mark and going over there still wasn't any communication really.
Got you.
Okay.
And even before I even get to Arizona, there wasn't any communication.
Okay.
Got you.
It was that one night happened.
Okay. All right. So
In the midst that she, at the time, Tiana was blowing up on social media as well.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not until the start really of 2023.
Okay.
This is all 2022.
This is all 2022.
Yeah.
So let's get to 2023. She starts blowing up on social media
Very quickly.
very quickly. How did that affect your relationship? And if so, how?
Yeah, because I hate the camera.
For sure.
We can tell.
We can tell. So
can tell.
there's one thing I definitely want to ask. So within TikTok and Instagram, a lot of comments that we saw were people would say, "You don't like her. You don't like Tiana. You seem annoyed."
I don't like the camera.
And
So
that's what
just
it is.
the
That's why I
camera-
want
I
to give
don't
you an
like the
opportunity.
I don't like the camera, but I also don't like why the camera has to be brought out,
Okay, so
which is from her.
that goes into how it affected your relationship.
So it would be like where we would go out to dinner and like have reservations, or we would just go anywhere, and it has like the camera has to come first, and then we end up late.
Okay.
I've only been late to one thing in my entire life before I met her.
Okay.
One workout.
Nigga, you was late today.
For sure you was late today.
But look,
He was very late today, actually.
He
But
said
look,
sometimes before.
Look how
after-
serious
That
he-
is
I've only been
crazy.
no, but I said before.
he did.
And then since then,
I was like, you're right.
since then, I've learned that, not learned, but I've adapted or like taken the mindset of sometimes you're gonna be late.
You late.
Yeah.
But before I had only been late once.
So
I
it was
can
like
see
a,
being
it was a
annoyed.
pet peeve. Yeah, it was a pet
It was a
peeve.
big pet peeve.
And it was like, I don't like being on camera.
Like, we
I
gotta
don't
go.
like being late. It's just, you feel constricted. Boundaries are pressed.
Right.
There's a lot. Because
And
Y'all were damn near on a reality TV show.
you were on a reality TV show and
oh no,
and
Yeah, it was a lot.
people kept saying he doesn't like her, doesn't look like he likes her, doesn't look like he's happy. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to address that.
it wasn't that
like
I
the
don't
camera.
like. I hate the camera.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
definitely a fair take.
He said he's more reserved, so.
Because at the time I was looking at it, I was like, I think I remember. We didn't hang around the same circles. So
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't remember him being like.
Because
Out
I'm
there.
not. But
I
at the
was like, I
same
remember him
time,
being reserved.
at the same, that was especially like whenever she first started like doing her own thing. That was what it was for sure. And then, like I said, like she definitely helped me grow into
That.
pieces of myself where I didn't even know I could enjoy. Like then, because then I started making my own TikTok.
Yeah, now you
Yeah.
create your own content.
Yeah, and even after she like once she blew up.
Mm-hmm.
If I still looked annoyed, it was like trying to just play into the part because it did bring people in,
Yeah.
and then also it still was a piece of, bro, let's go.
Please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I lost my question. Never mind.
Jeez.
Yeah, I blanked out.
So did you ever express that like, hey, like, I don't like this? I know that was probably
Like, did you
technically
flat
her
out say
big
it?
break. I know that can be kind of confusing. Like, this is
I
her big break,
think-
but I don't like it.
The way I said it was social media has been a dark place for me before.
Okay.
Okay. I want to ask another question. I thought of it. As a man, and you have been performing at a higher level in a sport for a long time, and so you're used to a certain amount of attention.
Yeah.
Even if it's not like on camera attention, I'm just thinking about like collegiate athletes. Your schedule is made for you every day.
Routine,
You know,
structure.
you have your routine, you have this structure. Be here at this time, but it's always kind of someone, catering to you in
Yeah.
a sense for everything. You don't book your own flights. Like sometimes your agents can book all this stuff for you. Hey, I need this, and someone else
Yeah.
goes and does it, right? So if you could if you can remove the bias from yourself, do you think that some of the attention that Tiana was getting had an effect on you in the sense of, it's like, well, the attention, you were used to the attention being on you, and there was a shift because it's like now the attention's all on her, but it's like, hey, like, what about me? I'm still here. Especially since you've been treated a certain way.
Yeah.
Go ahead, finish.
So I think the only way I can answer that question, I have to leave my bias in, and I didn't care.
Okay.
In fact, I actually enjoyed the attention being off of me, because like quote unquote, like sometimes I don't like people.
Fair.
Call it for what it is. I have very little trust for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, that by her doing her own thing, it wasn't that you were jealous of the attention she was getting. You actually liked
But
it
my
'cause the
point is,
attention was off.
it's also like, what is there to be jealous of? Like,
he has his own stuff.
I've had my own piece of fame before.
Okay.
So it's like, and the idea of having so many followers never has been attractive to me.
Okay.
It's never like appealing. Like, how can I get 1 million followers? I
Right.
don't care. Like, if I have 2 or 1 million,
That's just not your motive.
It's not your
Right.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
It's not your thing.
Okay, so now we are thriving in the relationship. We're going on trips together. You have a good season. She has a super good season on social media. Like the growth was crazy.
yeah,
Fast. It was. I mean, I haven't seen it before.
which was impressive.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was super
for sure.
impressive. And so then we get to the proposal.
Yeah.
Why was she the one at the time for you?
There was a lot of times where I had a image of a visualization of like who I could see in the kitchen with my kids one day,
Okay.
and I saw her
Kitchen.
just
I mean,
in the house.
We should get canceled.
What's wrong with kitchen?
No,
They
but
not in the kitchen with the kids.
I'm just saying like you wake the image, the visualization. Like I
I
wake
get
up.
what you're saying.
I get what you're saying.
They finna tear our ass up.
Oh my god.
Women not supposed to be in the kitchen no more.
That's what they're gonna say.
I mean,
I
like
get
my
what
man-
you're saying,
I
but
get what
they're
you're
gonna
saying.
take that and run with it. Keep it in. Go ahead.
Let them run.
Right? I like my man going to work.
But that's my point. Like I'm getting ready to go to work. She
Yeah.
in the living room in the kitchen. She already got the kids
She's
taking.
staying home.
Yeah.
Okay.
And at the time, the only person I could see that like being was her. Mm-hmm. So I was like,
Why not?
why? Like, what else is there to do?
Like, what else are we waiting on?
Right.
Okay.
You already lived together. You guys have gone through things.
We
You've
didn't-
learned each other.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. So Tiana was your end game.
Yeah.
Is she still your end game? Are you
No.
gonna try to fight for her back?
No.
Why not?
I might get canceled for this one. I'm
You
gonna
know-
say it anyway. Because the way she handled herself on social media after the breakup.
That's fair.
That is fair. I think that she showed
Let me explain.
a lot of grace initially.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
up
initially.
until the third one, I was like, what happened?
What are
I was
you
like, what
doing?
shifted? I think when
Because my question is, what did shift?
I was
But-
wondering what shifted. I'm like, okay, so she was super nice because I was looking at her like, oh, she better than me. I'm a good cusser.
Right? She was
Yeah.
making,
So I'm
she
like,
was,
oh, I would've been
she
talking
was really
crazy.
packaged very well, but you wanted to explain
So
why.
my thing is, we didn't have a chance to go through it alone before she brought the world in
I can see that.
Okay.
and allowed the world
To
Which-
put their stuff on it.
their narratives on things, their speculations, their assumptions of whatever they think did happen or didn't happen.
Is it fair to say that she was already doing that though in your relationship? This was already
Because you are a
things
public
she was
figure.
doing. Her social media following, is that fair to say that she was consistent on that front?
No, because what she was putting out there was kind of reality.
Okay.
And then she never because when we would do videos, it wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna say something and then let the world make their own opinion or like make their own theory of what has happened.
So what you didn't like about what she did post breakup was y'all never had the opportunity to go through it alone without the
Right.
cameras.
Which
It was
is fair.
Immediately on social media.
Yeah,
Okay.
which
fair.
whenever she did, we had our talk and basically ended things. The first thing I already knew how she is. First thing I came to my head was, here come the TikToks.
You already knew.
I already knew.
So how was that even? You're
Are you
broken
in
up.
season when this happens?
OTAs.
That's a good question.
Ain't that? Do the players talk about this in the locker room?
right?
I've always wanted to ask
Like,
that.
yeah, it's
Are you
like,
talking about this?
oh,
Or
the-
I
like,
see your girl on
No,
TikTok.
the fellas was in tune.
messy.
They were in tune.
They was in tune.
Bring 'em out.
Check out episode 5.
Yeah.
Well, no, so this is what happened. So it's basically everything happens like basically the last day of mandatory minicamp in June.
Okay.
I come back for training camp. I walk in and I'm getting that. What's up? How your summer was? And I was like, "Come on, bro, you already know." He's like,
Yeah,
"Shit, I just
like,
wanted to see
come
what you
on,
was gonna
man.
say."
It's crazy because like this is his job.
Yeah.
And this is like the equivalent to being in like corporate
You're like,
America.
I'm at
and
work.
you come to work.
Yeah.
I'm at
And
work.
people are like, so I heard you and your husband get a divorce. Like, girl, you gotta go to HR.
Actually, that's,
Like, this is your job.
Yeah.
that's true.
But
That
it's-
is an HR violation.
No,
I'm
because
messing with you.
but it's
That's
still
fine.
locker room talk.
Yeah, you're
So,
talking.
It's whatever.
So, okay. I've been wanting to ask
Oh, yeah,
that for
no,
a long time.
they-
I'm like, are the other players talking about this? Because men are messy.
No,
Men be pillow talking.
I think the funniest thing that has been said to me in the locker room is, which I don't really take offense to it at all. I think it's kind of funny, and I don't blame them. They're like, "Hey, inside this building, you my boy.
The outside.
We go outside."
They say you're not going to cancel us too. Oh my
They're
God.
like, "Hey, I'm not going nowhere where it's cameras around."
I mean, that's fair.
and I'm like, "I feel y'all.
It's true.
I feel y'all."
It's true.
I don't know how much you know about like the wives and the girlfriends of the players.
Yeah.
Do they like give you dirty looks or anything? Or they like,
don't see
we're
'em.
not going to dinner with them?
I don't see him.
I'm sure you don't even care, do you?
No.
Yeah.
At all.
I wouldn't either.
I would not.
You think I care what my man
I
friends
would.
think? Boo.
It is
Okay,
what
so-
it is.
Breakup. You don't like how she handled things. When she was posting content on social media, were you guys still in communication as well?
Yeah.
What was the
How,
communication?
what was the
like? Like, y'all
communication? What was
arguing?
going on?
Actually, very cordial. We even
Really?
we even
Interesting.
said I love you to each other at one point. Whether she meant it, whether I meant it, I actually kind of did mean mine. Whether she said it first and I responded.
Mm-hmm.
But we even like that was the kind of conversation we had. I did post one story one day and she didn't like it.
Like she
What
text,
story?
she said, "Hey, can you take it down?"
She was like, basically like, you funny for posting this or something.
Did you take it down?
No,
I mean, you didn't
Y'all
like her
still
stuff
follow each
either.
other?
I'm blocked.
Does it even really matter? I'm sure he still sees her stuff.
We all see it. It
I don't
was no
see nothing.
escaping it.
I don't see nothing. I just had people tell me.
Okay, peace.
People were sending you stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I still couldn't even see it because I'm blocked.
Peace.
Okay. All right. So that happens. Y'all are still speaking cordial. Where's the shift when that third interview happens? Because I noticed the shift. I watched all 3 episodes back to back to back, 3 hours straight.
I
Yeah.
think what happened was, so let's talk about it entirely. We have our, she comes to the house to get her stuff.
Which
with
house?
The Dallas house
Okay.
with the therapist.
Oh, with
Therapist
the therapist. I've never. Okay,
So
let me wait.
so wait,
This therapist doing after. Let me show
so
you.
wait. So, the night everything happens, I'm looking on the security cams, and it's first of all, this really irked me the wrong way. She had like so many people in my house. It's my house.
People like who though?
Oh,
Like
the
her
TikTok.
friends.
Oh.
The first video, she got like 6-7 people in the house, and I'm like,
No,
no.
no.
Like if you're gonna do like, once again, like if you're gonna be around your friends, go be around your friends in someone else's house.
For sure.
This my house.
Okay.
At this point, this my house.
For sure.
The day before, it's
It
our
was
house.
our house.
At this point, it's my house.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking on the security cams, and she's like loading up the car, and I see a bag that's mine.
Did you start speaking through the Ring camera?
No,
Hey,
What about?
no. I just sent a
What's
text. I just sent a text like, "Yo, the bag and the car need to stay there."
The bag in the car. Okay.
Oh yeah, because you bought her a car. Okay, I'm waiting.
Go ahead.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
This part I want to hear.
I bought the car I bought her. I bought for myself 2 years before I even knew her.
Okay.
When the first cheating incidents happened, I like wrote a note for Christmas, like, because at this point I'm not driving the car. She's the only one driving it.
Okay.
Like, here, it's yours. Take it.
Got
Not
you.
take it, but like,
It's yours.
yeah.
So was it like a scenario where it's like it's just a car at a house that I'm physically not at? Like you're in Cincy, right?
It's a car I'm not using.
No, so the car was there because I had my truck in Cincinnati with me. There was no point in me having both cars.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and plus
it's just
it's her, like, it's quote unquote her car. She needs a car.
For sure.
In Dallas, yeah.
It's already there.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Because like wherever we are, the cars are there.
So the car was not actually given as a gift.
No,
I
she
went
didn't
out
walk
and bought
out.
this for
She didn't
her
walk out the
here.
driveway and
Talking
there was a
about
bow
got a new
on it.
car. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the car was already in the garage. Like,
That makes a huge difference.
It makes a huge difference because it was shown like
but
It
that's
was
my
on a-
point.
with
you bought her a
bow.
car.
That's my point.
And
That's
then took
why
it
I said
back.
no. There will be no chance from my end to get back
Yeah.
together because there's been a lot of things left open
for
to have.
interpretation.
Yeah.
And that's why we're talking about it.
So yeah, the car, like the car of the subject was already just in the garage.
Here's an open
Okay.
car. Use this car.
You're already driving it. Like,
You're already here.
here
For sure.
Okay. Because
That's-
a lot of people were upset. They're like, Indian giver, you
He
can't.
took back
you
the
took
car.
it back.
Yeah, no.
But in your defense,
And I will say I gave her an opportunity to like take the car solely.
What does that mean?
I was like, yo, if you sign this NDA, you can have the title to the car. I'll transfer it over everything.
That's
and
fair.
and it's yours.
oh,
That's fair.
And she said no.
I'm
'Cause
not
she's
gonna
talking
sign
on
the
social
NDA.
media.
Yeah, that's okay.
Because she's talking on social media. That is her thing.
Right.
So she's not going to sign that.
In your defense, I thought when people were like, "Oh, he gave her the car, blah blah blah," he took it back. I was like, I mean, if it were an actual divorce, it would go to him.
you're gonna take it
regardless. Like,
back.
Yeah.
It would still go back to you in the eyes of the law.
Because at the end of the day, my name
Your
still
name
on
is
the
it and
paper.
you pay the bill. So that's why I was like, I mean, if it was a divorce, they would still give that to him.
Right.
Okay, but that
That clears up a lot.
that changes everything. But my next question is, people want to know, why did you feel it necessary to get the lawyers involved? Was it just strictly like, I'm just covering my own self,
Yeah.
or you thought it would be more messy?
I figured it would be more messy because she said, I'm out for blood.
Oh.
Oh,
And he has a career. Like,
Yeah.
he has
And like
stuff to lose.
and like I said, when I saw her load up the car and, you know, one of my personal items, I'm getting a lawyer. Because, like, now we diving into, like,
starting to get tricky. icky.
yeah.
It was just
and,
get messy.
Yeah, and like you said, like, I need to protect myself at this point. And so back to it, she comes like back to like when there was a shift maybe. She comes to Dallas to get her stuff with the therapist.
Okay.
Keep in mind, she done went on social media this whole time and said like, "Yo, we doing no contact." Whole time we communicate.
That's so annoying. I can see that being annoying.
So y'all were like never not in contact? It was like,
We didn't text every day, but we was texting.
was it
Okay.
transactional? Or was like,
What is
I
there
need
to
to come
talk
by
about?
here, I
Yeah.
need to
No,
get this.
it was more like if we was texting, she texted me first.
Okay.
But like saying like, it wasn't like, was it just about in regards to getting her
It was
stuff?
just like, hey, like how you hope you're doing well. Like I said, we even said love you to each other, and then it was like just cordial conversation. Like, hey, I'm going to this place at this time. We can schedule something for like you to get your stuff out of this house at this time. Like it was
Stuff like that.
stuff like that.
But there were conversations that had nothing to do with
Yeah,
stuff. It's just
And-
like, hey, just checking in on you.
yeah. And so
At that point, did you feel like there was still a chance? Or
No.
still not? Okay, we're done. You're
whether
done.
there was or not, I didn't want it.
Got you.
And so it came time to get her stuff out of Dallas. And like I said, like the way she removed things from the house the first time, I'm not having. And plus, at this time, I'm not having you in the house with me alone to create any more stories. So the therapist, somebody third party needs to be here. And the lawyers were kind of talking, like her lawyer and my lawyer were the ones discussing scheduling to have her stuff picked up.
Was her lawyer her sister?
I
Or
assume
was
so.
it someone else? Oh, you were, okay, it's your
Yeah.
lawyer talking. Okay, cool.
And she texts me one-on-one, like, hey, I don't think we need to, like, have the lawyers handle this. Like, I can come to the house. Yada yada yada. Like alone. I was like, no, someone needs to be here.
Okay.
And she was like the fact that you're like making this, like making me the untrustworthy one, is weird. And I just told her, like, yo, you've already walked out with one of my things. You lose that leg to stand on.
Yeah.
So yeah, someone's gonna be here, and so we have that interaction, and I was pretty mean to her.
Okay.
I like texted her the next day or whatever, and was like apologetic, maybe days after. But she like walked in and like tried to hug me, and like I'm like, no.
You like the no is coming from like what's like you're on the internet talking.
Yeah.
like
You're
this,
saying
like,
things, yeah.
We're not cool anymore.
We not no like we no, and so she got her stuff, and then we had like an hour and a half conversation with the therapist. It was basically a therapy
A
session.
session.
Yeah, it wasn't a nice one by me at all.
So to reel it back some, what was the cheating physical
The second time?
the second time?
No,
Okay.
What was it?
I got caught texting someone else.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not gonna ask you who it was.
No,
You
I'm
looking
not
at me
gonna
like
tell you.
I
I'm not-
wasn't
He
gonna
was- he's like,
ask. I was not gonna ask. TikTok will tell me in a couple days.
So
sure.
No, I'm just
They'll tell you who's
They-
gonna win
I
the
was like,
presidency.
they-
everything.
know a lot.
TikTok is gonna go in.
I don't know how these people are finding this information.
It's weird.
It's very like it's crazy. People can really find everything about you.
It's
Well, it
weird.
has to be someone that knows y'all. I mean, some information is just not on the internet, so it's like
Someone
it
is
has
saying
to be
something.
someone in some camp, in someone's
I
camp.
can
In
tell
someone's
you-
camp. Yeah.
People from my camp don't.
No,
Hold on,
no.
wait.
Social media said that's not the truth.
People from my camp aren't the ones on basically the attack. They're just looking at the stuff and kind of relaying the information or responding.
So, do you know Tiana mentioned that one of your friends is the one who told her
About the first one?
about one of them.
The first one.
Is
yeah.
that true?
Yeah.
You know who it was?
Yeah.
So you're not friends no more.
No.
Interesting.
Do
It was
you
a
know why they
female.
did?
Oh, I was gonna say, well, was it a guy?
It was a
That's
female.
what I thought. Okay. Was it one of your actual friends, or was it like one of your friends' girlfriends or something?
One of my actual friends.
Jeez.
Okay. How did you handle that? You just stopped talking to him?
Yeah.
Or did you like confront them like, I know you told her?
I was like, yo, I know you the one that dined me out. So like, stop trying to play both sides. And like,
That's
I was like, I'm done. Basically, I'm done fucking with you after this.
And that sucks. Because they stayed together. Damn, you hate to see it. Oh, I know she
Oh, when
hot.
you tell, yeah, it makes
I
it
know
worse.
she
Yeah,
pissed.
I said something and
I
then
said something, they still together. Oh, livid. I know
Yeah.
she pissed. Okay, well, so I think we've kind of covered everything in the relationship. So post-relationship, we're nearing the end of the interview.
What's going on?
Are you dating? What are you doing? You having fun? You chilling?
I'm chilling.
Focus on the season.
I'm ready. I'm just ready for the season.
How is Ohio?
It's great.
Really? I've
Yeah.
heard really good things about Ohio, that it's growing. It's actually crazy in real estate. Like,
I've never heard that.
I've heard it's changing.
I didn't hear much about Ohio before I got there.
I've
but
never heard that.
Cincinnati's a really cool place, especially downtown. It's like a mini New York.
Look
It's
wise.
solid. Yeah, look wise.
Okay.
It got motion though.
Okay.
It got motion.
What do you mean it got motion? Like it's
Things
stuff
to do.
It's things
Like
to
it's
do.
not a boring place.
Not at all.
Okay. Okay.
Let's get off about Cincinnati like that. We got Cincinnati supporters.
Sorry. Never heard of you.
Okay, so you're ready for the season.
Yeah.
Head on straight. Not dating anyone.
I wanna-
Focus.
Dating. As an NFL player, what is it like dating for you? Because y'all have to be,
I
y'all
still
can't
don't
move
know.
the same way.
I still don't know.
Oh, because you've been in a
I've
relationship.
always been in a
He's always been in a
relationship.
relationship.
Oh, so you haven't like just like
He hasn't
dated
just
like
been-
a year, just like let me just date, figure out what I like.
He hasn't been a bachelor.
But
just
the way
hanging.
that y'all have to move is very different from an average person. it's a lot of
It
precautions
depends.
that y'all have
It
to
depends
take.
on who. Yeah, but also like for me, like where I'm just be is, I don't plan on getting into like a committed, an official relationship like titles
Yeah.
for quite some time.
Take your time.
I've I done had a little bit of fun
Okay.
for right now, and then but there like where I do want to be is like I have maybe one person where we're not dating, but like we
That's your person.
yeah,
Okay,
and
that's
I just
fine.
like because I gotta fix my shit too,
Yeah.
and
Fair.
a lot of this like what's been come about is I also got to see like checking motives before may not have been my like priority, but like I definitely gotta check motives now.
Checking motives. Gotcha.
Easily.
Okay.
Yeah, you
'Cause-
gotta. There's a vetting process. And
Yeah.
it's longer now.
So
That's easy. That makes sense.
I'm gonna change the subject again. You kind of big,
Yeah,
but like you
Okay.
dress really, really well. But I'm not saying like big
Shout out to
people.
the
I'm not saying
stylist.
big
Shout
people
out
just
to
don't
the
dress.
stylist.
Shout out to the
I'm
stylist.
saying that finding clothes for me, it's so difficult for me to
For your
find jeans
legs.
that are long enough. I know it's hard for you to find clothes.
You don't have the same.
You right.
got broke
You didn't
people
say it
problem.
like that, but damn. Okay.
You
She
got
said,
broke.
"Well, bitch, you're poor."
You're broke.
So,
Yeah, you're broke. Respectfully, you're broke. So he
Call
doesn't
me
have
poor
to do that.
on TV is
Because you asked for it. You're like, why is it easy for you? Because I don't know.
okay. So you.
but
So
anyway,
I'm poor and you, but you dress really well.
yeah.
Cause I saw your
First
Instagram
of all,
and
I
I'm like,
appreciate that. Yeah.
you be putting it on. So do you always have a stylist, or sometimes you found your rhythm too? So sometimes you pick out your own outfits, or what does that look like? Do people bring stuff to you, pieces and stuff?
No, so I have my stylist, and shout out Sam.
Shout out to the stylist.
And we actually work very well together because he'll send stuff, and so he's been trying to get me to wear forces for like a year. And
You don't wear forces?
What size shoe do you wear?
15.
Forces. I would
Damn.
think that would be a good
Do they make them that big?
They
Most
do, but
definitely.
they just look big.
But it's because you're looking
Nigga,
down.
you big.
I understand that, but
You want to wear a size 7?
You can be big and look like you got a big foot. That's normal.
but back to what I was saying. There's things where like he'll send me, and I'm like, yo, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. He's like, all right, on to the next.
Yeah.
Or there's some things where I may send him like, hey, how do we incorporate this into a fit? And so like we're able to like bounce ideas off of
discuss.
each other, and like build like an outfit together instead of like, yo, this is what you're gonna wear. I'm sending it to you.
Oh, like he do all the work.
Can't wait to see it.
So when do you need an outfit? Do you need an outfit like, hey, I'm going out to dinner? Hey, I'm going out on a date? Hey, like when is it that you would be like,
If I step outside the house,
stylist?
I'm usually texting them like, yo, what do you think?
I love
Damn,
that.
I am broke.
You broke, bro. Why are you asking me?
Every time we
Rich
step
man
out the
issue?
house, it's crazy. I thought you was
Because-
gonna say like walking to the.
I thought he was going to say a dinner, a formal thing.
I think he's talking about just walking to the tunnel. I got a game this weekend.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
no,
Give
but
me
like
12 fish,
sometimes,
one for every week.
most of the time it'll be like stuff that's already in the closet too, like. And then there's other times where if I walk out the house, I'll just put whatever. I'll get my Adam Sandler on, just throw up whatever
For
I
sure.
got to.
He do be
Sam
throwing
was
stuff
crazy.
on.
Yeah.
Nah, he be throwing stuff on.
We have one more fan question.
What?
Okay, TikTok,
Yeah.
the jacket. I gotta ask about the jacket. Is it Tiana's jacket?
Give us a background on the jacket.
All right. So, the girl came to a game,
Okay.
and it all of a sudden got colder in Cincinnati out of nowhere.
All of a sudden.
It did.
Okay.
It was like
Suddenly.
It was like
Ohio be
80,
cold.
Ohio
85.
been cold the past 100 years, but suddenly
But
Ohio
Well, it's the
Ohio
got
summer.
cold.
It's the summer.
She needed
In
a
Ohio.
jacket.
It's the summer.
Okay. Okay.
I'll give you that one.
Like
Let's let him cook.
that week, it was like 80, 85, and then it's like a night game, and I'm like, oh, like she was like, it's gonna be cold, colder, it's gonna be chilly.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. She was like, I'm gonna need a jacket, and I don't have Bengals stuff. Like, I don't wear Bengals gear outside the facility. Like, all my Bengals gear is...
Money.
You over here trying to relate.
You done
It's
call
like,
us broke 10 times in the past 3 minutes.
baby.
I don't wear team issued items.
Because you're like, how do you get clothes? I'm like,
And so I
so
just go into the closet, and honestly, what had happened was I saw a jacket with a tag on it.
okay.
So I'm like, maybe it hasn't been worn yet, and it's not going to be worn again by that person. Because what's she going to do? Really support the Bengals?
So it just so happened that was one that Tiana wore
and left
but
the tag.
it still had the tag on.
Yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't like no malicious act. Like,
Okay.
did I know it was a female's jacket? Yeah.
So you wasn't just like, hey,
Where it is.
put this shit on. We finna get on.
Because
we finna
no,
get going.
because I did go through jackets like, oh, I know she wore that one, I know she wore that one, and I left them there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, I genuinely saw a jacket with a tag, and didn't know.
Unworn.
Yeah.
In your mind.
Yeah. Okay.
But then when it came about, I was like, oh shit.
You're like, wow.
I'm like, damn, I kind of set her up for that one.
It's time to chill out.
She's hilarious.
The new girl?
Yeah, she bold as hell. I follow her on Instagram. I love her story.
Oh my god.
Huh?
She is bold.
So did y'all like do that on purpose?
No.
Cause
Let me tell you,
you can't post what she posted on Instagram and not expect people to put 2 and 2 together in like 10 minutes.
But let me put it like this. I was in the bathroom, I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm on Instagram. I'm like, because we didn't talk, and like most of the people that I've like seen, everyone knows the situation.
So they're not gonna wear your stuff or wear.
They're not gonna post.
Yeah, I would think that.
I would have thought that too.
I
That's
would've
why I was
thought
like,
that.
oh, was this coordinated?
So when she did it, I'm like,
What are you doing?
not even what you're doing, but like, hey.
You finna get hit with that heat.
You ready for it?
And so I'm like, hey, is it okay if I comment?
You asked permission for that?
Well,
He's
yeah.
a gentleman.
But because
she put it on there for reaction. Of course,
but
comment.
I asked
Make me
because
not look dumb.
I asked because I needed to make sure she knew
What was coming?
what was coming. She was like, yeah, always, anytime.
Okay.
She's so funny.
Drop
She's
my
a
little
strong
comment.
woman.
Yeah, I dropped my little comment. And the only reason I really commented, because I was going to leave it, but I didn't think anybody was going to find it.
Cody, please.
Stop.
She didn't
Cody,
tag me. She didn't
please.
tag me,
Mr.
though.
Ford.
She didn't tag me. So how you going to find it?
Mr. Ford.
So, but
Like I said before, somebody in y'all's camp. So somebody in her camp.
There's a Judas.
I said
Somebody in
it.
her
I
camp
said
was
that.
like up 2 and 2
Boom, boom,
together.
I told
and
her
sent
that
it to
too.
whoever.
I told her that. I was like, I think one of your friends.
Somebody, it don't even have to be one of her
Aired
friends.
that.
Somebody that follows her, and it's like, oh, anybody that's been on TikTok the past 2 months.
Yeah.
It's like that's Cody's jersey on the fourth picture. It's Cody in a huddle.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is intentional. But the funniest part was when them comments started dropping. Everybody's like, "You're weird. You got on Tiana's jacket."
I think people
And
are
she
just weird
posted-
though.
People are obsessed.
The best. Her response was hilarious. I was like, she cold for that one. She posted on her story. Well, she locked the comments. She posted on her story her drinking wine and was like, "Yeah, y'all have a good day too." I was like, "Damn!" I was like, "She
Because we was at dinner. We kept on kept on.
You were at dinner with her when she posted that.
The story.
They just kept.
Oh, yeah,
they
we
moved
was-
on with their
I
life.
assumed so, but I was looking in I screenshot. I was like, "Who in this reflection of the glass?"
You're
know
You
who it
weren't in
is.
the reflection in the glass, but I
Not who is this
assumed-
reflection?
I definitely zoomed in. I was like, I can't see him. It's dark in there.
No, but like I think people are
People are a lot.
a lot.
Social media is like Wild Wild West.
Social media just gives people the opportunity to think that they're way too involved in a situation that they
Oh,
Because
I
we're
mean-
behind the screen.
don't have
Yeah.
anything to do.
Because my
I mean,
DMs is crazy.
I
I mean, I was saying whatever I want if I knew people couldn't fight me.
Do you even respond to
Right.
DMs?
Some
do you,
of 'em.
Do you go through
Sometimes
DMs?
I give them the time of day. Like somebody messaged me yesterday and it was like pathetic. And I was
That's
like,
a lot, bro.
I was like, all right, whatever.
Pathetic.
So I was like, I'm gonna respond. I was like, straight up, bro, I don't give a fuck.
It was a guy.
It was a girl.
Sometimes you just can't. I gotta say something to this one.
Pathetic, because no one thinks that
Pathetic
their
is-
comment
But
is
the
going to be
ones-
the one that's read.
The ones that I really respond to are the females that call me ugly or something like that, and I look at their picture and I'm like,
Girl,
I ain't letting this one slide.
I gotta roast you.
Like, I got time for this one.
fire your
I
ass
got.
up.
I'm not gonna vouch you for that because when people call me ugly, I'm like, look, I ain't been ugly since the 6th grade.
Right.
I'm responding back every
I
time.
ain't
'Cause
never
I
Don't
sent-
call me ugly.
I sent it. I sent the page to my boys. I was like, I'm finna fire
I'm
her
finna
ass
fire
up.
your ass up.
And I know you be saying deadly stuff. I DM Cody one day and I was like, hey, you get your big ass on somewhere. And he said, Joe, you got one time. He said, you got one more time before I violate.
Fire your
I
ass.
logged out the
Fire your
app.
ass
I said,
Because it's just some
and went back
things-
to work. So it was like 7 a.m.
But I want to change the subject a little bit. So other than football, what do you do? What are your extracurriculars? What are your passions? What do you dive into? Are you an
Fashion.
investor?
So that's
Fashion?
something you want to take seriously.
That's what you want to, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you talked to Obo?
No.
Why not?
I just like, I don't really talk to people that I don't talk to.
I feel
Yeah,
you.
but if you get into fashion and stuff like that, Obo be at Fashion Week, New York
I
Fashion
know,
Week,
he
and I
be
don't know how
lit.
he's doing that in season. I'm like,
He be lit, which is really, like, him going to that stuff is really cool.
That
Like,
is
that's-
dope.
yeah,
I wish I could do that.
You
stuff.
will.
you can.
But
You're rich.
It's so funny because when you're not rich, you think like
limitations.
you're rich, like you can do whatever you want. He busy.
He's busy, but
I
he has
also, like,
resources.
I
to
just be
plan
chilling
for.
though.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, fashion is one of my big passions.
Yeah.
And then, like, outside of that, I just be kicking it with the dogs, streaming, playing the game.
Got you.
Streaming.
Let
Why
him
did
be.
you? I said I was gonna get back to. Why did you like? Whose idea was it to say I'm gonna watch this interview while I'm streaming? That was so funny to me.
So, like, my idea was I'm going to watch it anyway.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to react to it anyway, which is what I do on part of my streams. I react,
To things.
which I ain't nobody in the stream world. Like,
Okay.
I got a couple thousand followers, but I am not constant that or none of those people.
Yeah.
So, like, my reactions ain't like, oh, Cody Ford reacted. No, it's just like I'm going to react to my community regardless.
Okay.
So I had time on my hands, and I just hit play.
You're
Yeah.
so funny for that.
I mean,
let's get
because
it.
I would, in that moment too, I would rather people see me watch it, and if I was gonna say anything, which I did say some things, they at least have it from me in that moment.
course.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
For
Like,
sure.
It's like no, Cody said this. I
Because there
said
was
it.
some things I had to clear up,
Okay.
and then like speaking like earlier, I think the shift happened after I called her out on taking another piece of my clothes
Jeez.
before that last.
Another piece.
Yeah.
Another one.
He wasn't playing with that fashion.
Bring my shit back.
Because I hadn't worn that item yet, and I got it before it was a Balenciaga jacket.
But why is she taking your stuff? Y'all don't wear the same size.
My point exactly.
Like, why are you taking my stuff?
And I had got this jacket before they even dropped it.
Ooh, I need that back.
I need that back.
Did you
I need
get
it back.
I still ain't got it back.
Ooh. Cause like who? Yeah, like, and it must be a custom jacket. Cause
No, it's not custom, but they dropped it like 2 weeks after I had already bought it. Cause I got a plug at the North Park.
yeah,
He's like, yo, we're about to drop this line. Here,
True.
what you
Yeah.
want? So I bought like 2-3 things. Mm-hmm. And that was the one. And I'm like, I'm back in Cincinnati. Like, yo, where my jacket at?
where's my stuff?
So I like call a guy in Dallas that's staying at the house. I'm like, yo, you see this jacket? He like, nah. Like a day later, I'm on stream and someone texts me. He's like, yo, look at this TikTok.
Is she wearing the jacket?
She wearing the jacket.
She's not wearing the jacket.
She wearing the jacket.
She's wearing the jacket. That's
so I
OD.
text my
I would
stylist.
have to get lawyers involved.
I text my stylist, and I'm like, yo, didn't we buy this jacket?
So what is it, like an overcoat? Like
It's
what is
like
the?
a zip up jacket with like the flames and stuff.
I'm like, that's my jacket.
So I like, cause you know the designer stores, you get like email like receipt, and you have like a history like book of
Yeah.
what things you bought. So I'm like, so I text her. This is the last time I texted her. This is the last time we spoke.
Okay.
I said, hey, before I make any assumptions, I'm gonna ask. I already got the assumption in my head.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I was trying to play.
Play it cool.
Nice.
Come in gentle.
So I was like, hey, before I ask, is this my jacket? I said it like this. Is this my jacket you dancing on TikTok with?
Dancing on TikTok.
Dancing on TikTok.
And so
demeaning.
It is like dancing on TikTok. Yeah.
literally. And so I ain't get no response.
Of course. Because it's your jacket.
Right. So that's told me everything
It's
I
your
needed to
jacket.
know. So I go to the Balenciaga website, I log in, and I'm like, ooh, there it go right there.
It's my jacket.
So I send it to the lawyer. I'm like, hey,
Screenshot.
what we gonna do?
Interesting.
Step away.
Y'all in each other's clothing items.
And this is still going on.
The jacket?
That's the last time
The
you
ja-
texted.
That's the last time he texted.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Nicole, if you don't have anything, I mean, we could go all day.
We can go all day, but
Good.
You were a good interview. I thought you were gonna be shy.
she thought that you were gonna be shy. I'm like, I think he know what to do.
So as much as I hate the camera, I'm really, because they taught us how to talk in front of a camera.
Well,
Yeah.
So
But not everybody learned well.
facts.
Not everyone applies.
Need some nightmares.
So when it comes time to talking like a camera like this, it's easier than and it's more comfortable than plus it's like, shit, we ain't gotta go nowhere. Like,
We're hanging.
Yeah, we chilling.
it's conversational.
And I get a chance to, tell, like you said, tell my side.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say about your side?
Anything else that you want to clear up?
I'm glad we cleared. There's a lot of things that you cleared up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's like that. Okay.
I think the funniest theory that came about was the pregnancy.
That wasn't that. It was believable.
When y'all were engaged.
What does that have to do with anything?
No, not her being pregnant.
Oh.
People thought I
Him,
got
that
someone.
he-
Oh, he thought you got.
This was
Oh,
when there was no context to she
Yeah.
just had her ring off and it was like, wait, what happened? But I think y'all's story got mixed up with someone else's because you were at a UFC fight.
Yeah, which was crazy.
And it was like Cody Ford, USC, kiss another girl, but there was someone else named Cody.
oh.
But TikTok AI
Excuse
generates
me.
the
That,
names.
yeah.
Yeah.
So him trending as well as the other person.
Because I
trending,
did go to a
confusion.
UFC fight.
it merged
It was
together.
confusion.
But there
A
was
big
a kiss at a
confusion.
UFC fight by a guy named Cody, but it wasn't.
It was
that
not Cody Ford.
Right. Because I went with the fellas. I'm like, damn. I had to ask the guys. Y'all seen me kiss somebody?
That's so crazy to get on your phone and see false news about yourself.
It's just.
When I do
That's
that,
kind of triggering.
scary.
Okay.
But yeah, it was TikTok's AI generation and how they.
Because that's why I also streamed
Auto-populate that.
the first podcast. Well, I also streamed because I thought it was going to be one and done type thing.
Yeah.
Now we 3 podcasts later. And it had been the same stories and whatever. But
Yeah.
I streamed it because a lot of the stuff she was saying prior had a lot of false activity to it.
For sure.
The doors were just left wide open.
Yeah.
And it was insane.
I think that from hearing her podcast and yours, if I'm coming from a completely unbiased standpoint, I think that some of those things not necessarily were, and from both of y'all's part, from each story, I think that it wasn't necessarily a lie that was told, or it's your story, her story. I think that when you populate in your emotions and her emotions, the way you tell the exact same story as her, it only differs because of y'all's emotions when addressing that situation, if that makes sense.
That does.
For some things, not all of them, but some
But
of them.
I'm speaking on the actual things that were falsified, like the no contact thing. Like I
Yeah,
said,
okay.
We was in contact up
Always,
until
yeah.
up until I asked about the jacket, and then outside of that, it really wasn't much that she said that was all right, she lied about that. I mean, there's things that she did talk about, on the last podcast. I was like, oh, whoa.
You're like, what?
Like me paying for someone rent and
Yeah.
what are we what?
Oh, so you never.
Never. I didn't have to.
Okay.
She good.
She's fine. Yeah, she has
Okay.
her own.
She got her own. I don't have to pay her monthly to if a situation was to ever come about, she's motivated to take my side. Like I said, the weird connection we already had, she was probably gonna find a way to protect herself and protect me at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay her for, never
yeah.
never paid for someone's rent.
Okay.
I've only paid for my bills and at the time the bills that
Person you're dating.
yeah.
Okay.
And that was a big thing to me too, the money aspect of our relationship was very weird.
In what way?
I got to a point to where it was uncomfortable for me to talk about money with her.
Because
her motive, her mindset around it, rubbed me the wrong way.
Like, was she money hungry? Was she looking for, like, what was the relationship with money? Which money tends to
So
be.
put it like
for
this.
people.
It's a sensitive
It's
topic.
a sensitive
in
topic
It is.
for people, yeah.
And so there's a time where, like we lived together. I got a. At that time, we had a townhome in Dallas. We didn't have the house yet, so I paid the whole set of bills here. I paid the whole set of bills in Cincinnati. She working at the time. She's not doing the influencer yet, so she got income at the end of the day. And she's like, there's this one thing. She's like, I want you to pay for like this membership. And I'm like, why you? I'm paying for all these other things, and you want me
like
to?
the membership you can take care of.
You can do that one thing.
It should be like almost
automatic.
Like, hey, I got it.
Yeah.
And then that was like that was the first thing. And then it got to a point to where she kept asking like and wanting to know like how much I had.
Interesting.
It's like
on you at the moment or just
in the bank.
Oh. Okay.
And I'm like, why do you need to like know that?
Okay.
And it was like a harping subject. And then it came to a point to where like we did get engaged and we're talking about like prenups or no prenups.
Is that something that you would have done?
That she would have done?
You, like,
me?
You're entering with the prenup, you're entering with no prenup.
Yeah, were you wanting a prenup?
I wasn't for a prenup or against a prenup. I wanted it to be a mutual decision.
Okay. You're open for discussion.
She was no.
Of course.
No room for conversation. And I'm like, let's have a conversation. Like,
Did
no.
that rubbed you the wrong way?
Big time.
Yeah.
I think
Just
that
for
might
the
be a
fact
lot of-
that we can't even have a conversation
You can't
about
talk
it.
about it?
Yeah. Okay.
And the money issue was more towards the end of the relationship or all throughout?
Just towards the end.
Towards the end, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were at dinner one day, and I like I told her, I was like, "Yo, I can't have a conversation with money around you. Like I'm really uncomfortable."
Did y'all not bring that up with the therapist? Ever?
Well, I had to bring it up to the therapist like alone. I'm like, "Yo, I don't know how to handle
Navigate this.
Yeah, I don't know how to handle this situation because like
It's important.
it is.
And it's money is something that needs to be decided before.
1,000%.
When I
The
definitely
marriage.
agree, and it's like I feel like everything's put on to me. Whole time she got her at this time she making TikTok money, and I'm like, why I feel like every responsibility in
on
this
your
relationship is on my back, and I don't know how to handle this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable. Like
It's fair.
I'm like almost pushed away at this point.
Yeah. That's fair.
Okay. So I think you got everything off?
I'm good.
You good?
You gonna do another podcast?
There ain't no.
There's
Okay.
nothing better than this.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than this.
So
Because
we
I
have
thi-
the
I
exclusive.
I just think that it's just once
One
you
and
say it
done.
once,
Yeah.
You said it.
you said it. Like, why are you going back saying what gonna be 6 podcasts later? And we
Type, like, you gonna start lying now.
Well, you
Yeah.
actually
Different
don't have
stuff.
time for it. You
I mean,
You're
yeah, I
about to be in
don't.
season.
Yeah, I'm about to.
how many weeks
You
got
basically
to
are in
your
season.
First in season game.
Next week.
Yeah, he's in it.
Yeah.
He's in it. Jordan, do you have anything to say?
No, just thank you so much for coming on my podcast. I've been trying to get you for months.
Yeah.
No, a year.
Yeah, because you hit
It's
me up
been a
last
year.
year. Yeah.
I hit y'all up last year in like December.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on, podcast. And
Here we are.
Here we are. We finally did. I'm so happy. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity and the platform to be able to interview you. I think you did amazing.
And telling your side of the story.
Had
Yeah.
to.
I think it was good. It was mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
So I think
I
you did
appreciate
amazing.
y'all. I appreciate y'all having me.
sure.
No, thank you. Hopefully I
This was
hope you
fun.
felt welcomed.
This was great.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
Hanging.
Perfect. All right, well, I'll sign us out. I am Jordan May,
And it's your girl, Nicole.
and we are here with the one and only Cody Ford, and this is the Playbook Diaries signing out.
Peace out.